We're all stuck at home, but we are working hard to bring you 2K TV. And I know I've been doing a lot of eating, a lot of watching TV. Besides playing 2K, Chris, what have you?
And the Kings preparing for this road contest as they get off the... A proud franchise. Thank you, David. And here's a look at some numbers for Covington.
And the biggest takeaway when you look at his numbers is how good his three-point shooting has been the past 5 games. He's finding the open spots on the perimeter, and when he's getting good looks, boy, he is not missing.
Now Sacramento starting 5. They've got Lowry, Kelly Oubre out there with Davis, and there's JaVale McGee. And it's Thibault in at the shooting guard position. And for San Antonio, Kristaps Porzingis is out there with Favors. Then it's Robert Covington. Then there's Rudy Gay. And it's Griffin in at the point guard. And so here's Sacramento following the miss by Griffin. Whistle blows. Bucket is good. And he'll have a chance at the line to make it a three-point play.
Well, Anthony Davis, the #1 overall pick back in 2012, a perennial all-star, 6 of his 7 seasons in New Orleans with the Pelicans, where he averaged over 20 points per game. He is a superstar and one of the more rare birds in the league at his position to be able to do what he does.
Now here's Griffin. And you know the points will always be there for him. He's averaging just a shade under 20 points a game right now.
That's a little bit out of the Rudy Gay experience there, used to absorbing contact on the way up.
And Brent, you look at the different ways that Davis can affect a game. What stands out to you most?
Well, really his skill level. There's a lot of talk about how much he's grown as a shooter and playing in the half court. But since he's come into the league, Kevin, the skill that I admire most about AD is what he does in transition. For him to get out on the break, run and be a target, and catch the ball at any position on the floor and know what to do with it, that's an amazing thing for a guy his size.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
Griffin kicks to Favors. Covington passes to Griffin. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. A step back shot here. No good from Gay.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Thibault can't get it to go.
And the pressure he put on that shot forced the miscue.
Those are all the little things about effort there. He just gets out there and contests, and that's just enough.
Now here's Favors. Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by. Excellent D that time there from McGee. Kings have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Stolen by Gay. And the jam by Rudy Gay.
How about the speed with which he got to the rim that time? Rudy Gay, excellent job of dropping the hammer.
Griffin against Lowry. Porzingis with the rebound.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Favors, and a slam dunk by Favors.
What elevation. He's a smaller but still determined big man, and he likes mixing it up with his impressive vert. What a culture shift it's been in Sacramento the last few years. Vlade Divac, along with Peja Stojakovic, 2 of the legendary Sacramento Kings players, finding their footing and trying to put their stamp on this organization with some of the young talent that they've acquired.
Now Griffin. After Kelly Oubre missed from long range. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Kyle Lowry picks one up there.
Well, Griffin not shying away from the contact. As he's elevated his game, he understands he's going to see a bunch of physical play.
Both shots good from the stripe. And Brent, around the league, people are saying the Kings are one of the scarier teams on the rise.
Well, they drafted decently. They play a system that now is speaking to some of their young talent. They've had a nice blend. It's been a long time coming in Sacramento, but fans coming out to the new arena to support this new, young, hungry Kings group.
Now here is Lowry. We saw him with 39 points last game out. Here's Davis. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. San Antonio leading by 3. Gay scanning the floor. The pass to Griffin. Griffin draws the double. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. And so here's Sacramento. The Kings trail by 3. First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Oubre outside, and Robert Covington picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
That's his second foul of the first quarter, and they may want to sit him for a while to avoid number 3.
Left side Lowry, down low, and stolen by Favors.
You could stay active on defense. Good things usually happen. Right there, quick hands helped alter what would have been a short 2 there.
And Porzingis puts up a deep 3 at the end of one, a closely contested. Kristaps Porzingis grew up in faraway Latvia.
Older brother, he was a big fan of NBA.
And Greg, that's something different now for foreign players, isn't it? A lot more exposure to the NBA.
And KP, a fan of the culture. You saw him in cornrows as a kid. I think that helped prepare him for the transition.
And close game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out in the second quarter. And looking at what we've seen from the Spurs so far, guys, what do you think?
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
Yeah, they did a great job. Just the initial thrust of that attack as soon as they got the ball, constantly in transition.
On the court right now for the Kings, we've got Davis. He's out there with Oubre. Lowry out there with JaVale McGee. And it's Thibault in at the 2. Porzingis with the ball. Now defended by Oubre. Sinks it. And the shot from Porzingis. Each year, so many coaching changes. Brent, do you feel they generally get too much blame when things go wrong?
I don't know if blame is the word, Kevin. That's just the easy out for a lot of organizations that want to make some changes. The main thing that's frustrating, I think, for the coaching fraternity is patience. You have to be realistic about the potential of your team and how much time it takes to grow what it is that coach's culture is all about. That's where teams sometimes lose out and give up on somebody a little bit early.
But these guys go into it eyes wide open.
Oh, there's no question about it. And really good coaches in the NBA know that it might not last all that long. So they're going to be who they are. That's who you want to hire. Hire a coach who knows exactly who he is, both coming in the door and walking away.
It's a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Kyle Lowry is hard-nosed, as we all know, and if you ask him, it comes from his upbringing in Philadelphia. Lowry said, "A Philly player is what a basketball player is. We played on concrete. You got to be mentally tough. You're not trying to be athletic. You get hit the wrong way, you run into a metal pole." Kevin, that's what made him. From Philly to Villanova to Toronto to an NBA champion.
I don't know about running into the metal pole, but that sounds painful. But he's certainly as tough as he can be. David, thank you. Here's Thibault. He's covered by Gay.
A good job sticking with his man, Rudy Gay, moving on the lateral plane, and then the long arms helping out.
And Sacramento seems like a great fit for Luke Walton. Team's approach on offense really matches his own. Should never be a shortage of scoring for the Kings.
You wonder how it is that Luke Walton did his studying coming into this season with how much success last year Dave Yeager had in getting these guys to push the ball up the floor. Luke Walton believes that anyone can rebound and bring it up, and they have the kind of guys who could do that on this roster.
Here's Oubre. Derek Favors making his last shot. Here is McGee. He's been a nice option for them offensively, and he's averaging more than 17 points a game. And that one's good by Davis.
Yeah, just a tough matchup anytime he gets into the mid-range area. Nobody's going to bother Anthony Davis.
Griffin against Oubre. Pass to Porzingis. Shot clock at 5. Back to Griffin. Shoots over Oubre. Griffin can't get it to go in. And so Lowry will bring it up for the King. Only given up 6 here in this quarter. In this matchup with the Spurs, it's their first meeting of the season.
And they swept this team in the regular season a year ago. Pretty impressive considering these teams were basically the same in the standings.
Here's Griffin following the basket by Anthony Davis. Pass to Porzingis. And that one is off. Excellent D that time there from McGee. Lowry fires away from outside. And a close game so far. Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
A pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. They never trailed by more than 3 points, and it was... And now with the second...
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. It's been quite a game for Rudy Gay.
Yeah, and early on, he has been feasting in the paint, and you have to think they're going to keep feeding the big fella.
Oh, man, pouring it on right now, and why wouldn't you?
Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the court for San Antonio, Rudy Gay is out there with Griffin. Then there's Porzingis. Then there's Favors. And it's Covington in at the 3 spot. He kicks it to Favors. Now here's Gay. He has 7.
Well, that's timing on the back end to get in there on the slash. The initiative by Rudy Gay on offense that time paying off.
Lowry passes to Davis. Over Favors, and the shot is good. The Spurs lead has been cut down now to just 3 on the bucket from Davis.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
That's one that the coaches will watch tomorrow with that player. You hate to see him give up in that situation.
Porzingis finds Griffin. For 3, Covington. No good that time. Now Sacramento takes it the other way. They'll be playing host to Portland for their next game. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. Outside Griffin. Shoots over McGee. And Griffin with the score. The assist by Rudy Gay.
A strong and explosive Griffin knows how to use his body to protect that ball in traffic.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, after years and years of rebuilding, the Kings are finally a team on the rise, and they're earning respect. Draymond Green said they've got a lot of young talent, never quit, probably the fastest team in the history of the NBA. Green said after he plays them, I leave the game exhausted. I go home, I'm dead. And Kevin, we know that Green is pretty accustomed to going all out.
David, he sure is. He's got a lot of engine in him. Thank you so much. And they get it back.
Phenomenal defense by Anthony Davis to spike that shot back. He'd make a heck of a volleyball player.
Deflects the pass, and it goes out of bounds. That one off Porzingis. Here are the top shooters from deep this month. These guys have been raining down threes lately. 5th best, Robert Covington.
Sometimes a 3-point shooter gets into that rhythm and just keeps carrying it over. It's been the case for him the entire month.
Brent, when it comes to moving around in tight quarters without a lot of space, who's the quickest player that you have seen in a half-court set this year?
Still remarkable to watch where it is that Kyrie Irving can get to on the floor in any sort of possession. It's like he could take, 50 dribbles in a phone booth and find a way out of it, spinning around and finding gaps within the defense.
What a handle.
But it's not his handle with just the one hand, right, Kevin? It's about he has an idea of after he does the moves around the traffic, when he gets into the basket, multiple ways of finishing, much like Rod Strickland, who was a tremendous finisher in his days years and years ago. Kyrie's got a lot of that in his game.
And Davis sends it back. They retain possession. Porzingis can't hit.
not his best night from the field, but looking for other ways and finding them so he can chip in.
Covington against Oubre. He dishes it to Lowry. Passes it to Davis. McGee trying to break free. And it's Davis missing. They time it right. They can end this quarter with a 2-for-1.
And that's how you want to end the quarters.
Outside Griffin. Here's the pass to Porzingis. From deep. Sacramento grabs the miss.
He missed that one, but I've seen him drill shots from that distance in warm-up.
Oh, no, I know he can make it, but that's warm-ups, so maybe just a step too far.
That one doesn't go. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Spurs out in front. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Well, there's a way to break down the defense with the handle, but you can do it with the pass. Prime example of that right there.
And with 3 quarters behind us, we start the fourth quarter in what is still anybody's ball game. And a look at the 5 for the Kings to start the fourth. Kelly Oubre out there with Davis. Then there's Lowry. And there's JaVale McGee. And it's Thibault in at the 2 guard. Oubre with the steal. Inside to tie it up. And it's Gay with the rebound. Gay's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Griffin attacking, and Griffin slams it in.
Well, I love the strength that he's showing there. Committed when he takes the ball to the cup, and the defense at that time becomes helpless.
The Kings trail by 4. Lowry feeling it out a bit. Here's Thibault, and out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. Here's Griffin. Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. Gay outside. Pass to Porzingis. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. 6 to shoot. Lets it go from 14.
Well, there's more he could have done in this game for sure, but it hasn't kept them from pulling ahead.
Oubre passes to Lowry. Pass to Davis. Over Favors. McGee trying to break free.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Now, that's the kind of passing that opens up the eyes to Blake Griffin's overall talent.
The Kings trail by 6. And here's Lowry with the fadeaway. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. And here's Gay. He'll bring it up for the Spurs. Here in the fourth quarter, their defense has been very strong, allowing no baskets. And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
When a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
Yeah, a quick little lean like that is going to get the ref's attention. Foul call.
Timeout called by the Kings. They're trailing by 6. There's 1:54 left in the fourth quarter of this one. And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Rudy Gay.
And his focus, guys, has been laser sharp, and his touch from the field, flawless. The teammates have worked hard to get him the ball in some good positions, and boy, has he rewarded them with a spectacular shooting performance. Great call to keep running all those sets for him.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Luke Walton was saying to the team. He talked about X's and O's, but he also said, hey, guys, we got to trust each other, stick together, and leave it all out on the floor. See if they've got enough left to get over the top, Kevin.
They get it back. Lowry against Griffin. That is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down to just 6 points with the basket from Kyle Lowry.
A veteran guard with a knack for penetrating defenses. Lowry can pretty much get any shot he wants.
Over to the wing. Porzingis against McGee. The tray. And Davis pulls it down. For Sacramento, they've gone 1 of 5 from the field here in the fourth. A lot of misses, just the one make. And the slam dunk by McGee.
And you could see him give a little nod and then just burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
A pair of teammates, Greg, with a terrific feel for each other. Out to the right wing. McGee against Porzingis. Shoots over McGee. Here's Favors. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Really, the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
So we can't get either to fall.
Can't waste any time here.
Well, it's probably a little bit too late here, but you really need to score a bucket here to stay alive.
And now we've got the intentional foul. He hits the first one, and that puts them up by 5.
Well, he's one of the more popular players in the NBA in terms of fan support. They just love Blake Griffin's charisma.
Passes to Oubre from the baseline. It drops. What a beautiful shot to bring them to within 3.
Such a critical part of how their offense is going to flow. Things are only working when he seems to be on the floor.
Yeah, you can't let him hold the ball and just milk those last seconds away.
And he does get the second one. And that gives them a 4-point cushion. Now a timeout called by Sacramento. They trail by 4. 15 seconds left in the game. Guys, your thoughts?
Yeah, trying to get back in this thing, they need a score.
It's funny, at this point in the game, the coach is asking the team to be perfect. They haven't been to this point.
Here's Lowry. Now the pass to Oubre. From outside, off the mark. And an intentional foul there stops the clock. And no good as the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second.
Well, after the boos on draft night when he got to the league, you could immediately recognize the unique talents of Kristaps Porzingis, and he keeps trying to raise the bar for himself. An exciting young player for the league.
And so it's the Spurs with the win. David, thank you as always. And that'll wrap it up, folks.
Let's go. I like math if you add pesos. Has it go.